Welcome back. Game number 6 of 6 today, the final game in round robin play, which started yesterday for the 2022 National Collegiate Box Series National Championship. I'm Jonathan Horowitz with you rinkside at the Silver Creek Sportsplex for the 9th and final game of round robin play. And this would be, if it were a boxing card, the main event of the evening, and that's because it's between the two undefeated teams vying for first place in the semifinals tomorrow morning. You have the defending NCBS national champions, the Royals. They're in the purple uniforms, gold numbering, white trim, and they're taking on the Hawkeyes, who have the ball first on offense, and they have the green uniforms, yellow numbering, and black trim. And the Hawkeyes, their first NCBS National Championship. They came here from upstate New York with a lot of buzz behind them, and they've certainly delivered with 2 wins against the Grays, 9-6, and then an 18-5 win against the Revolution. And it'll be the Royals who get off to a fast start, just like against the Grays, 9-6. And then an 18-5 win against the Revolution in the NCBS National Championship, and they'll get the first goal. And Snyder left it for Ward, who passed it into the center, and it's a beauty behind the back from Jake Govett for the goal. Royals goal, scored by Jake Govett, assisted by Matt Ward at 45 seconds of the first quarter. Govett from Ward for the Royals at 45 seconds of the first. Reminiscent of a goal that Govett scored last year's tournament, which he also shot it behind his back. That one, though, was with his back to the goal. So the Royals draw first blood in this matchup of undefeated teams. Royals coming in 2-0 with a 13-7 win against the Stoneflies and a 10-7 win against the Revolution. So they both have common opponents, being the Revolution. 10-7 win for the Royals and 18-5 for the Hawkeyes. Ripper from the wing, and it goes wide of Hawkeye starting goalie Kyle Mahar, who is having his first action of the tournament. He makes the save there, and it's Caleb Mackey who continues to get the start for the Royals, the reigning MVP from last year's NCBS National Championship tournament. Shot from the point, and Mackey is up to the task against Miller. 1-0 lead for the Royals on the beautiful behind-the-back goal from Jake Govett. Govett now makes the pass, and Mahar to his knees to make the save on Will Tobias. Tobias getting his first action of the tournament. He's the youngest player for the Royals at 18 years old, was the youngest player on last year's squad as well when he was 17. Shot from the point coming from Terry, and Mackey able to steer it aside. Ball rolls forward, and it's picked up one-handed by Finger for the Hawkeyes, who gets checked by White, and now also gets a check from Bennett, and it'll lead to a takeaway for the Royals. So, opening minute goal for the Royals puts them up 1-0 in this battle for first place, heading into the semifinals tomorrow. In the center for Bastion, and the ball rolls around. Game of hot potato here, ultimately picked up by Ward. Ward makes the pass over to Rasmussen. And now the play is whistled dead in the corner, and the Hawkeyes will get it back. Hawkeyes, the Mearns Cup winners from the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League. Terry with the shot, Mackey the save, and Mackey will pick up the loose ball. Last year, in terms of the states, this was the matchup for the NCBS National Championship between the Royals from California, and it was the Armory who represented upstate New York. Armory had won during pool play, and then in the finals, the Royals were able to come from behind and win in overtime with a goal from that man, Zach Snyder, who shoots it high as the shot clock expires, and the Royals will give it up to the Hawkeyes. Miller, leading assist and point scorer in the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League, was the player who had it, and now the Royals go the other direction. Both these teams very big, very physical, and very defensive minded. Ward to Govett coming from off the bench. Ward gets it back. Ward sidesteps. Ward spins. Ward still with it. Shot clock winding down. Now feeds Bastian, and Bastian pops it in the back of the net. Ward setting up both goals. So Ward still with it. Shot clock winding down. Now feeds. And now feeding the member of Team Germany, Winton Bastian, for his first goal since the first game against the Stoneflies. Royals goal scored by Winton Bastian, assisted by Matt Ward. At 6 minutes 15 seconds of the first quarter, Bastian from Ward for the Royals at 6:15 of the first. Up top for Hawkeyes, he had 5 goals in the first game, 1 goal in the second game. Stick is broken in front of the Hawkeyes goal. 2-0 lead for the Royals, so the Hawkeyes having to play from behind here. First time that the Hawkeyes have had to play behind in the tournament. Beeson puts his shoulder into the defender, spins, one hand on the stick, leaves it for Tobias with the shot. It goes into the corner. 2 Royals players against 2 Hawkeyes players. Snyder will come away with it for the Royals. That broken stick still sits in front of Kyle Mahar. Beeson passes it to Rasmussen with the low shot. Mahar to his knees. And now here come the Hawkeyes in transition with Robbins bringing it across the center line. Miller with 7 goals, 2 in the first game, 5 in the second game. And he gets some space, shoots, and the stop is made by Mackey. Here come the Royals in transition. Chance for a breakaway on Mahar, and speeding in for the goal is Caden Dietrich, his first goal of the tournament. Here come the Royals in transition. Chance for a breakaway on Mahar, and Royals goal scored by Caden Dietrich at 9 minutes of the first quarter. Dietrich for the Royals at 9 minutes of the first. Royals win the draw courtesy of Boltman. Up 3-0, approaching the 5-minute mark of this first quarter. Ward at the point, he's got a couple of assists. He turns, shoots, and it goes wide. Rebound picked up, bounce shot for the Royals coming from Garcia, who's having his first game of the tournament. Now a chance for a one-on-one here, but Hayden will put the brakes on, leave it for Terry. Up top, Miller. I mentioned he had 5 goals in the last game. They all came in the fourth quarter. Terry towards goal, shoots and scores. And that's the first goal for the Hawkeyes, coming from their leading scorer, Zachary Terry. That's his 9th goal in the 3rd game of the team. They all came in the fourth quarter. Terry towards goal, shoots and scores. Hawkeyes goal scored by Zach Terry, assisted by Nick Cartmell at 10 minutes 30 seconds of the first quarter. Terry from Cartmell to the Hawkeyes at 10:30 of the first. Under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter, a 3-1 lead for the Royals, who got the first 3, and the Hawkeyes getting on the ledger with a goal from their leading goal scorer in the tournament and during the UCBLL season in Terry. Shot from the wing by Govett. Snyder with the rebound, can't get it off in time. The shot clock expires, and the Hawkeyes will get it back. Hawkeyes, part of the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League. They're based in Rochester along with the Armory. Miller's shot sneaks behind Mackey, but he's able to cover it up. And then the other 2 teams in the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League based in Buffalo, the Buffaloes as well as the Rapids. Those Buffalo teams working with the Buffalo Bandits of the NLL, and the teams based in Rochester work with the Rochester Nighthawks, and then the partnership of this Royals squad with the San Diego Seals, who are big supporters of the U.S. Boxla Nationals. So great influence from NLL squads on these 2 teams, and it definitely shows. Shot clock winding down, and Rasmussen, draped by defenders, puts it on goal and puts it in the back of the net. So great influence from NLL squads on these 2 teams, and it definitely shows. Shot clock winding. Royals goal scored by Christian Rasmussen at 12 minutes 30 seconds of the first quarter. Rasmussen for the Royals at 12:30 of the first. 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter, 4-1 lead for the Royals. All the goals have been, I would just say, good goals, and this could be another one, but Govett was in the crease as he made a run towards goal. He's draft eligible this year. Son of Seals president Steve Govett, played in Colorado with the CCBLL for the Red Hawks. Minute and a half to go in the first quarter, 4-1 lead for the Royals. Ball bounces out to center court and brought into the offensive end by Nate Ryan. Snyder makes the pass over to the far side. Shot comes from Botkiss, and save is made by Mahar. Under a minute now to go in the first quarter. Takeaway by the Royals defense, and Royals with the 4-1 lead, courtesy of the most recent goal by that man, Rasmussen, who leaves it for Ward. Ward with a couple of assists. Snyder back to Ward. Ward over to the far side. Govett for Snyder, and it's just out of his reach. Final possession of the first quarter, and Hawkeyes in a Russian transition. Ball goes into the corner. It's bounced to Mackey, and the Royals will have a chance with 5 seconds remaining. Ward winds up, bounces it, and it goes high and out of play as the buzzer sounds to end the first quarter. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. Royals 4, Hawkeyes 1. 4 different players scoring for the Royals, a balanced attack on offense, and they lead 4-1 as we get ready for the second quarter coming up in a couple minutes' time from the Plex on NCBS.TV. Now in goal for the Royals is Mason Spunius. Change of goalie for the Royals to start the second quarter. So both teams playing the goalies that came into the tournament in a backup role. Kyle Mahar for the Hawkeyes and Mason Spunius for the Royals. Spunius involved in the San Diego Seals organization in a unique way. He attends the Berklee College of Music, and he plays the national anthem at Seals games on the guitar. It's a version of the national anthem that I particularly enjoy. The most recent one being Flea at a Los Angeles Lakers game of Red Hot Chili Pepper fame. Oh, what a beautiful one-timer from Jake Govett, and he continues to add to his highlight Los Angeles Lakers game of Red Hot Chili Pepper fame, and his second goal of the game. Royals goal, the second goal of the game, scored by Jake Govett at 30 seconds of the second quarter. Govett for the Royals with his second at 30 seconds of the second. So Govett with opening minute goals in each quarter, and now the Royals up 5-1. They'll give Mackey some time to rest up before the semifinals tomorrow. Takeaway by the Hawkeyes, and transition opportunity 1 against 2, and it'll go down as a goal for Tyler Gould, his first goal of the tournament, and he puts it in past Mason Spunius. Takeaway by the Hawkeyes, and transition opportunity 1 against. Takeaway by the Hawkeyes, and transition opportunity 1 again of the second quarter. Gould for the Hawkeyes at 1:40 of the second. Also getting a penalty on that play. penalty on the play against the Royals. 2-minute penalty called against Miles Botkiss at 2 minutes 40 seconds of the second quarter. So, first penalty of the game comes after that goal by Gould, and now it puts the Hawkeyes on the power play and shot from the point from Miller, and the stop is made by Spoonius. 5-2 lead for the Royals, who have the ball shorthanded. Previous game saw 4 shorthanded goals by the Stoneflies in the 20-11 win against the Rivermen that knocked the Rivermen out of the playoffs, because with a record of 1-2, the head-to-head matchup against the Revolution, the team that defeated the Rivermen in head-to-head play, and they'll win the tiebreaker in the seeding. So we do know, and we'll confirm it for certain after this final matchup, who the 4 teams in tomorrow's semifinals will be. The Revolution at 1-2 will be the number 4 seed. They'll face the winner of this game, and then you'll have 2 teams at 2-1. A delayed penalty here against the Hawkeyes. The shot by Bastian goes wide and back into the Royals' end, and we'll get the penalty coming up against the Hawkeyes. And the 2 teams at 2-1 will be the loser of this game and the Stoneflies. Penalty against the Hawkeyes, 2 minutes for illegal substitution, being served by Austin Kelly. Time of the penalty, 4 minutes 50 seconds of the second quarter. Now it's the Royals who are on the power play for the first time after killing off a penalty, and Govett looking for the hat trick. Stop made by Mahar. Royals come away with it, and falling down is Snyder as he shoots it. He's a little slow to get up. It's going to result in a penalty against the Hawkeyes. Penalty against the Hawkeyes, Tyler Gould, 2 minutes for tripping. Time of the penalty, 5 minutes, 45 seconds of the second quarter. So 2-man advantage for the Royals for the next 50 seconds. It's a potentially big takeaway by the Hawkeyes, but Ward retreats to get it back for the Royals. Govett, what kind of highlight reel play does he have in store for us next? He'll place that one perfectly past Mahar, and he's got a hat trick, and it back for the Royals. Govett, what kind of highlight reel play does he have in store for us next? He'll play for another 1.5 minutes for the Royals. Royals goal, power play goal, third of the game, scored by Jake Govett at 6 minutes, 15 seconds of the second quarter. Govett with his third coming on the power play for the Royals at 6:15 of the second. Power play for the Royals because of that second penalty that's called against Gould, the tripping penalty. During the halfway stage of this second quarter, 6-2 lead for the Royals. Shot coming from Mitchell, short-handed, goes wide. It goes back into the Hawkeyes' end, and the Royals will get it back. Just over 30 seconds to go, and the power play that they have. Govett at the point, works it to the near side. Hawkeyes gets it back along the wing, up top Govett, down low, and it's retreated back to Hawkeyes, who winds up and scores. Bastian back along the wing, up top Govett, down low, and it's retreated back to Hawkeyes, who winds back. Royals goal, power play goal, is scored by Miles Hawkeyes, assisted by Winton Bastian at 7 minutes 40 seconds of the second quarter. Hawkeyes on the power play from Bastian for the Royals at 7:40 of the second. Seven to 2 lead now for the Royals. Six minutes, 20 seconds to go, second quarter. Royals out shooting the Hawkeyes 18-8. Shot comes from Miller. Stop is made by Spoonius. High rebound. Sticked out of the air by Bennett. Muscling through traffic, it's Beeson who puts it on goal, and Mahar makes the save. Hawkeyes down by 5, 7-2. First time that they've trailed in this tournament. Miller met by a double team. Leaved it for Cartmill, whose cross-court pass goes into the corner. Shot clock expires on the Hawkeyes. Royals, who are coming off of a win against the Revolution just a couple of games ago. So they had a quick break of a couple of hours, back to action, and no worse for wear as the shot from White goes wide back into their own end. Hawkeyes played in the 12:30 game, the 18-5 win against the Revolution, so they've had 3 games of rest, whereas the Royals only have had 1. Shot through traffic for Colt Green, and the stop is made by Spoonius. High pass out of the reach of Ward from Bennett. And now back the other way, Gould, who got his first goal of the tournament earlier in this game, loses it, gets it back, and will leave it for Miller. 3 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the second quarter. 7-2 lead for the Royals, courtesy of a hat trick from Govett. Goals from Bastian, Rasmussen, as well as from Dietrich and Hawkeyes. Spoonius able to deny Mitchell. Nearing the 3-minute mark of the first half. Pass to the near side, out of the reach of Hawkeyes, picks it up on the bounce with the shot clock winding down. His shot is blocked, and the man who blocked it chases it down, Matt Hayden in the corner. Finds Cartmill. Cartmill retreats behind the net off of pressure from White. Checked hard into the corner. Sticked out of the air by Miller. Cross court, Terry chasing it down and flicks it towards Cartmill. Taken away though by the Royals after that strong defensive possession. Ward with a couple of assists has to run down the loose ball as the shot clock winds down, and it almost sneaks in on a shot from Rasmussen. Fresh 30 now for the Royals. Pass is broken up. Chance here. Breakaway for Finger. In on Spoonius. Deekson shoots and Spoonius the save. Keeps the score 7-2 for the Royals, who now look to add to it. Outscored the Hawkeyes 4-1 in the first, outscored them 3-1 in the second. Cross-court pass to Govett, draws the defense. Govett from an off angle, puts it towards goal, and it gets trapped in the pad of Kyle Mahar. Royals have it taken the other direction. Chance at a breakaway here from Gould, in on Spoonius, and scoring. Second goal of the game for Gould, who recorded as have it taken the other direction. Chance at a breakaway here from Gould, in on. So he's gotten the last 2 goals for the Hawkeyes. Hawkeyes goal, second of the game, scored by Tyler Gould at 14 minutes 20 seconds of the second quarter. Gould with his second for the Hawkeyes at 14:20 of the second. And the Hawkeyes, Tyler Gould at 14 minutes 20 seconds of the second quarter. Gould with his second for the Hawkeyes at 14:20 of the second. Blythe. Hawkeyes goal, scored by Matthew Blythe. Time of the goal, 14 minutes, 45 seconds of the second quarter. Blythe for the Hawkeyes at 14:45 of the second. That ends the second quarter with the score at halftime. Royals 7, Hawkeyes 4. 2 goals by the Hawkeyes in the final 30 seconds, so the battle for the #1 seed tomorrow got a little bit closer. It was 7-2, now it's 7-4. Real physical action, looking forward to the second half. And this is the same 2 states that played for the NCBS National Championship yesterday. The Royals from California played for the National Championship last year. The Royals from California defeating the Armory from upstate New York. Now the Royals taking on the upstate New York-based Hawkeyes in a battle for the #1 seed before the semifinals tomorrow morning. We'll be back with the second half on NCBS.TV from the Silver Creek Sportsplex.
Very early in my lacrosse career, I gained an appreciation for the value of box lacrosse as it carried over into field lacrosse. And every kid should be starting by playing box lacrosse instead of field lacrosse. So many young men from Canada who play box lacrosse are getting a lot of scholarship money in the U.S. for college. By starting this thing in the U.S. now, I really believe that we're going to have a great symbiotic kind of relationship between the education you can get in college, but the kids being better skilled to play field lacrosse through box. You never see a kid come off the rink without a smile on his face, win, lose, or draw. And there are a lot of reasons for that. Number one, it's so much fun. Nobody's pigeonholed into a position. You know, everybody's up. In field lacrosse, you throw a ball over someone's head, it rolls 30 yards, it goes out of bounds. In box, it stays in play. So that the quick, oh my God, I failed. There is no failure. It just, oh my God, it's in play in a different way than the 30-second shot clock, and the speed at which it's played can only enhance what we're doing in field lacrosse at the college level. The key for me is using lacrosse to make young people happy.
Face-off to start the second half goes out of play, and we're back to action here from the Silver Creek Sportsplex in San Jose, California. Host for the second year in a row of the U.S. Boxla Nationals, not just the national championship for collegiate box lacrosse, but also lacrosse for all ages. About 1,000 players competing this weekend in San Jose. 5 rinks here in this great facility here, the Silver Creek Sportsplex. And the main event for the National Collegiate Box Series to take place tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m. with the semifinals. These two teams will be part of it. The question is, who will be the #1 seed? Mahar to his knees to make the stop on Beeson. A 7-4 lead for the Royals against the Hawkeyes from upstate New York. Run towards goal for the Hawkeyes by Miller. And now Spoonius, who came on in relief of starting goalkeeper Caleb Mackey, takes control of it. Shot from the wing, and Spoonius able to make the stop there on Colt Green. Royals getting 3 goals in the first half by Jake Govett to lead their offense, and Govett was held scoreless in the first game of this tournament, the win against the Stoneflies. He got a couple of goals in the win against the Revolution, and now a hat trick for him. Physical play between these two big squads that are very defensive minded. Wide shot to the right of Spoonius, and shot clock expires on the Hawkeyes offensive effort, and now the Royals will get it back, nursing a 7-4 lead that was 7-2 up until the final 40 seconds when the Hawkeyes got goals from Gould as well as from Blythe. Move towards goal by Bastian, and it's steered aside, and here come the Hawkeyes in transition. Chance at a breakaway, and very wide behind the back shot there from Mitchell. Through the first 3.5 minutes in a scoreless third quarter. And I think both of these teams, to a certain degree, are starting to look ahead to tomorrow, both very confident in how they played to this point, and they could potentially meet up again in the final, so I don't think they want to give too much information to the other side either. Both teams are playing their backup goalie, Spoonius in goal for the Royals, and Mahar in goal for the Hawkeyes. And there's a maneuver towards goal from Terry, and he'll get the ice. The score is now 7-5. Hawkeyes goal, the second of the game, scored by Zach Terry at 4 minutes of the third quarter. Terry for the Hawkeyes at 4 minutes of the third. So 3 straight goals for the Hawkeyes, and the score is 7-5 in their favor. Terry with a couple of goals. He plays at Limestone in South Carolina, and then in the summer stays with family up in Rochester. And this year is a member of the Hawkeyes for the Upstate Collegiate Box Lacrosse League. Govett with the slingshot towards goal, and steered aside by Mahar. High outlet pass hits the rafters above the court here at Silver Creek Sportsplex, and it'll go back to the Royals. Royals lead 7-5, but the Hawkeyes have gotten the last 3 goals. Beeson. Works it around the perimeter. Govett to Beeson, tried to give it to Hawkeyes. Back to Hawkeyes at the top, and near side shot coming from Beeson. And Hawkeyes trying to break free, but Govett able to turn it back the other direction, leaves it for Ward. Rasmussen off of the bench. Ward's cross-court pass. Govett has to go to the corner to pick it up. Gets knocked down. Gets help from a teammate. Shot clock winding down as Ward loses it. And tight defense there from the Hawkeyes. Hayden taking it away and giving it to Finger. 3-0 run for the Hawkeyes. Number 1 seed in tomorrow's semifinals on the line. Shot from Terry from an off angle, and the stop is made by Spoonius. White, who had a hat trick in the Hawkeyes win last time out against the Revolution after going scoreless in the win against the Stoneflies to start the tournament. He's got it along the left wing. Sustains a hit, gets a screen, shoots through traffic. Spoonius the save, chases down his own rebound. White from behind the net will do the wraparound and score! You may not find a more hard-working goal in the tournament. Chases down his own rebound. White from behind the net will do the wraparound and stops the 3-0 run for the Hawkeyes and makes it a 3-goal lead, 8-5 for the Royals. Royals goal, scored by Marquez White at 7 minutes 30 seconds of the third quarter. White for the Royals at 7:30 of the third. That really is the strength of the Royals on that last goal. They are just so strong and continue to put the pressure on. Now the ball's gonna slip in past Spoonius, who was caught out of the net. So strong and continue to put the pressure on. We'll take a look at the replay to determine to whom the goal should be credited. It was Miller who took the initial shot, and then it was a wraparound on the replay, and it's Terry who follows up the initial shot from Miller to get the goal. Hawkeyes goal, the third of the game, scored by Zach Terry. Time of the goal, 8 minutes, 50 seconds of the third quarter. Terry with his third for the Hawkeyes at 8:50 of the third. So back to a 2-goal lead for the Royals, and in the crease is called on Govett. Nearing the 5-minute mark of the third quarter, the Hawkeyes have outscored the Royals 2-1 to cut a 3-goal halftime lead down to 2, and looking to make it just a 1-goal game here. Terry with the shot, Spoonius to his knees to make the stop. Garcia with the ball, plays international box lacrosse for Team Mexico. Cross-court pass, Beeson, faked one shot, makes the pass. Here's Bastian, member of Team Germany. He gets knocked down, and as the ball stripped away from him by the defender Robbins. Nearing 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. 8-6 lead for the Royals. Second year in the NCBS. Terry the shot. Spunius can't control it, and it goes in off of NCBS. Terry the shot. Spunius. And Terry will get credited with his 4th goal. Hawkeyes goal, 4th goal of the game. Scored by Zach Terry. Time of the goal, 11 minutes of the third quarter. Terry with his 4th for the Hawkeyes at 11 minutes of the third. Hawkeyes with the last 2, 5 of the last 6. And the 7-2 Royals lead is now just 8-7. Hawkeyes looking to tie it here. Terry looking for his 5th goal, bounces it in front, and it'll go out of play. Shot from the wing, and the save on Hawkeyes' shot made by Mahar. Hawkeyes bench getting a little bit louder. Miller with the ball along the near boards. Tries to spin away from Pull, gives it to Terry, who's low shot makes it on goal. Spunius able to steer it aside, but gives up the offensive rebound. Gilton is knocked down, but Royals come away with it. Chance for a 2-on-1 as White puts the shoulder into the defender. Terry shoots and scores another physical goal for the Royals. Marquez White, his 2nd of the game. It is knocked down, but Royals come away with it. Chance for a 2-on-1 as White puts the shoulder into the Royals goal, 2nd of the game, scored by Marquez White at 13 minutes 20 seconds of the third quarter. White with his 2nd for the Royals at 13:20 of the third. So now a 9-7 lead, and Royals will win the draw courtesy of their face-off man Tegan Boltman. 1 minute to go now in the third quarter. Beeson spins, one hand on the stick, makes the pass to Ward. Down low, turnaround shot, Rasmussen. Mahar the save and covers it up. Things tightening up. There was a 3-goal lead for the Royals after 1 and at halftime. Now a 2-goal lead for the Royals. It was as close as 1. Setting up for what could be an exciting 4th quarter, which we're 20 seconds away from, and the Royals will look to get a little bit more cushion. Hawkeyes makes the pass to the near side. Garcia with the shot, and it's steered the other direction. One last chance in this third quarter for the Hawkeyes. Up top, 1 second to go. I don't think that Zervos was aware of the time, and the horn sounds to end the third quarter. That's the end of the third quarter. Going to the fourth, the score, Royals 9, Hawkeyes 7. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Final quarter of a marathon day of the National Collegiate Box Series National Championship pool play will come to an end when we're back in a couple minutes' time. it doesn't work? Okay. Welcome back, fourth quarter between the two undefeated teams in pool play. Final game before the semifinals tomorrow morning. Royals leading the Hawkeyes 9-7. And Boltman winning the face-off, taking the shot off the draw. First two quarters saw the Royals score opening minute goals. Hawkeyes able to prevent that in the third quarter and cut a 3-goal halftime deficit down to 2. Bastian takes the pass from Hawkeyes, gives it back to Hawkeyes. Shot clock winding down, and the shot taken by Tobias is blocked. Now the Hawkeyes getting their first possession of the fourth quarter. Pass comes out to the top, now over to the far side to Miller. Terry from an off angle will sneak it in past Spoonius to make it a 1-goal game again. That's the 5th goal of the game for. Pass comes out to the top, now over to the far side to Miller. Terry from an off angle. Hawkeyes goal, 5th of the game, scored by Zach Terry, assisted by Nick Miller at 1 minute of the fourth quarter. Terry with his 5th from Miller for the Hawkeyes at 1 minute of the fourth. So a 9-8 lead now for the Royals after they were up 7-2 towards the end of the first half. Good comeback here from the Hawkeyes. Rasmussen's shot is blocked. Losing his stick there was Finger, but the Hawkeyes come away with it. Shot from Terry, he's got 5 goals. Spoonius able to make the stop. Dietrich up ahead to Ryan. Windup comes from Hawkeyes, and his shot goes wide and out of play. You do get the sense, just the energy that both teams are giving off, that they're keeping their cards close to their vest, sensing that this could potentially be a matchup in the finals. So if they do meet up again in the finals, expect the intensity to be just that little bit higher. Behind the back pass attempt by White is out of the reach of Tobias. Royals still control it though. Rasmussen falls down, loses it in the corner. Takeaway by Miller. Miller's pass goes out of play, and Griffin pull for the Royals. Thought that it was Royals ball, but it stays with the Hawkeyes. Miller shoot stop made by Spoonius, who gave up the initial rebound, but then able to stick it out of the air there. Down low for Govett, and this time he's denied by Mahar. He's had a hat trick in this game. Hawkeyes with a high pass to Govett behind the net. It's broken up. Terry has Bennett all over his back and makes the feed for the point-blank shot from Blakesley, and then it's followed up, and the rebound is put in. Has Bennett all over his back and makes the feed for the point-blank shot from. Original shot came from Colin Blakesley, and then able to follow up his own rebound for the goal. Hawkeyes goal scored by Colin Blakesley. Time of the goal, 4 minutes, 45 seconds of the fourth quarter. Blakesley for the Hawkeyes at 4:45 of the fourth. Finger shot from the point goes wide, and it'll bounce into Hawkeyes territory where the Royals will take over. Royals were up 7-2, but the Hawkeyes have climbed back to tie things up 9-9. Rasmussen, the spin move, down low, Govett all alone, sneaks it in! Climb back to tie things up 9-9. Rasmussen, the spin move, down low, Govett all alone, climb back. Royals goal, fourth of the game, scored by Jake Govett, assisted by Christian Rasmussen at 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. Govett with his fourth for the Royals from Rasmussen at 6 minutes of the fourth. Boltman facing off for the Royals against Mitchell for the Hawkeyes. Nearing 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, 10-9 lead for the Royals, who saw a 5-goal lead evaporate. Hawkeyes gets a screen, gets a shooting lane, gets a goal. So the Royals gave up the lead, but have gotten two. Hawkeyes gets a screen, gets a shooting lane. Royals goal, second of the game, scored by Miles Hawkeyes at 7 minutes, 10 seconds of the fourth quarter. Hawkeyes with his second for the Royals at 7:10 of the fourth. (9-9), now 11-9 in favor of the Royals, who keep the pressure on off the face-off win by Boltman. Cross court for Govett, and boy, they're really feeding him, and he had a point-blank opportunity. Now Gould on a breakaway of his own, and he'll score for the Hawkeyes, and he's got a hat trick. Really feeding him, and he had a point-blank opportunity. Now Gould on a breakaway of his own, and he'll score. Minutes of the fourth quarter, Gould with his third for the Hawkeyes at 8 minutes of the fourth. Mitchell against Boltman again on the face-off. 1-goal game. Boltman wins it, but then has the ball knocked away from him. Mitchell into the front court. Nearing 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, 11-10 lead for the Royals. Winner of this game gets the #1 seed. Terry shot from the point, stopped by Spoonius. And we're gonna get our first penalty since the second quarter. Penalty is called against the Royals. 2 minutes for an illegal cross-check against Nate Ryan at 9 minutes, 30 seconds of the fourth quarter. Power play for the Hawkeyes with a chance to tie. Royals have gotten 2 power play goals tonight, courtesy of Jake Govett and Miles Hawkeyes. It came on a 2-man advantage. Bastion shot as the shot clock's expiring. Stopped by Spoonius. Under 5 minutes to go now in the fourth quarter. Finger can't control it, but does keep it in the offensive end, and that keeps the ball with the Hawkeyes on the power play. Minute to go on the man advantage as Miller and Terry play give and go. Cross court, Terry winds up, and it sneaks behind Spoonius. I think the Hawkeyes started to celebrate, but it never made it in the back of the net. And now a 2-on-1 opportunity, or no, sorry, 1-on-2. And White will just put on the brakes and leave it for his teammates as he comes over to the bench. One-timer from Hawkeyes, but couldn't get it on goal. Ward falls down, 10 seconds to go on the penalty for the Royals. Hawkeyes will wait until the Royals are at even strength, and now they are. Hawkeyes, right wing, from the corner, puts it in front of the goal, bounces in behind, and in the crease is called on the Royals, and we're nearing 3 minutes to go. Terry shoots it, Spoonius stops it, didn't quite know where it was, but it's Bennett who helps him out and picks up the loose ball. Looking ahead to tomorrow, semifinals at 9 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Then noon for the consolation game between the Rivermen and the Grays as the number 5 and number 6 seeded team. And then the finals will be at 1:30 to crown the 2022 NCBS National Champions. Garcia gets checked by finger, tries to dunk it behind Mahar, but it's called for in the crease. Nearing 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Miller from the point. Starts maneuvering towards goal, goes around a screen, flicks it back, picked up by Cartmill. Shot clock winding down. Cartmill passes it into the corner, and as the shot clock expires, Colt Green tried to salvage something on that possession, but instead it goes to the Royals. Hawkeyes with 2 goals. Passes it cross court. Back to Hawkeyes, runs it out to the point. Sandwiched by Hawkeyes defenders. Hawkeyes come away with it. Chance for a 2-on-1. The pass is made, but the shot goes wide from Hayden off of the feed from Thornton. 1 minute remaining in the fourth quarter. Final minute of play. Really isn't as much of a sense of urgency for this game, because both teams are guaranteed spots in the playoffs. Shot comes from Beeson, it goes wide, and here come the Hawkeyes with a 2-on-1. Miller takes it and scores. Puts it in past Spoonius to tie things up 11-11. Shot comes from Beeson, it goes wide, and here come the Hawkeyes with a 2-on-1. Miller. Hawkeyes goal, scored by Nick Miller at 14 minutes 32 seconds of the fourth quarter. Miller for the Hawkeyes at 14:32 of the fourth. So we're tied up 11-11, which was the score at this very moment in the finals between the California team, the Royals, and the upstate New York team, the Armory, in last year's NCBS National Championship game. A face-off win for the Hawkeyes, and it goes into the stick of Hayden, and Hawkeyes will call timeout. So that'll give the Hawkeyes the chance to try and set up a play to win it here and finish pool play undefeated. Both teams come over to their respective benches. 24.5 seconds remaining, 11-11 game. At one point it was a 7-2 lead for the Royals, but the Hawkeyes have climbed back into it and will have the ball with a chance to win it and be the #1 seed and go undefeated in pool play heading to tomorrow's semifinals. Both teams take the court, 24.5 seconds remaining. Hawkeyes will get things started with Mitchell taking the ball from the referee. Whistle blows and we're underway. Terry will wait with it, looks towards his bench. Mitchell looks at the clock, 10 seconds to go. To Terry, cross court, back to Terry, down low. Oh, and a beautiful wraparound goal. And that will, with 4 seconds left, give the Hawkeyes a 12-11 lead. Oh. To Terry, cross court, back to Terry, down low. Oh! Made the pass behind the net. To Terry, cross court, back to Terry, down low. Oh! To give them a 12-11 lead. Hawkeyes goal scored by Nick Miller at 14 minutes 56 seconds of the fourth quarter. Miller for the Hawkeyes at 14:56 of the fourth. That's the end of the fourth quarter. The final score, the comeback for the Hawkeyes, with a win against the Royals by a score of 12-11. Hawkeyes finish pool play in the 2022 NCBS National Championship unbeaten at 3-0, and they will be the #1 seed for tomorrow's semifinals. Semifinals begin at 9 a.m. Second semifinal at 10:30 a.m. The consolation game between the #5 and #6 seeds to take place at noon, and then the NCBS National Championship with the winners of the semifinals scheduled to meet at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon. Have a great night, and we'll see you back here in the morning on Championship Day for the 2022 National Collegiate Box Series National Championship.